Welcome to this video. Today we are looking at how we can navigate the entry into another market in a cross-border trade. Navigating global markets or strategic guide to selection of a market and entry into a market and various strategies that we can look at. This simple guide will talk about proper market selection, market entry strategies which are crucial for success in another country. What are the key considerations before we embark into buying or selling in another country? How do we blend the planning and execution of the strategy for selecting the product, the geography, the segment? Because of the differences in culture, regulations and other aspects, we need to have a comprehensive review. First thing that one should consider for the market selection would be market research. We need to have a thorough market research to identify whether in the potential market there is enough demographic, economic or cultural segments where our product will have a unique positioning so that we can make more profit than what we do in our home country, keeping in mind the export incentives that we might get or the import tariffs that we might have to face when we enter into another market. Second is the market size and growth. Assess the size of the market and the potential of growth for that market or the room for expansion of the segment that we are looking at based on the competition from local entities, competition from overseas entities, and how much is the ease of entry over there, or is there barriers to entry in the competitive landscape. So we need to gauge the feasibility, not just the viability of expanding the market share. Then comes the regulatory and trade insights. We have to have an idea about what are the free trade agreements that country has, what are the long-term agreements the local companies are having with overseas behemoths, and then we also look at how the tariffs are playing out, how the incentives on the export side is playing out, and what could be the near-term change in the pattern or trend of these aspects. We need to understand the legal and economic factors also so that we don't get into any problem because of the oversight or misunderstanding or misinterpretation of any regulatory interpretations or guidances. Choosing the path, the entry strategies. Now, trade agreements will help or hinder a particular corporate enter into a particular country. The cultural or linguistic differences could help us or hinder us in the way we look at a particular market, how much we would like to favor or not. A particular segment will fall out of favor in our interaction on the buy-sell environment. Infrastructure and logistics also we need to look at, because whether we are able to pick it up from there based on availability of ports, availability of warehouses, availability of cold chain and transport and communication or storage facilities. Export is one of the most important market strategy where we sell our products or services to the customer in another country. Second is a joint venture where we enter into an agreement with a local partner there who could help to navigate the local market because they have a better understanding on the market and we have a better understanding on our products and our capabilities. So we can gain local market by using our expertise, but at the same time leave the local aspects to the local partner, to their resources or to their strengths. Third is licensing. We license another entity to sell our products and services into another market. That local company will have more idea about their local customs and traditions and cultures and social norms, and accordingly they will navigate the regulatory and legal landscape over there with minimal investment from our side to make our products reach those areas. Then comes franchising. In franchising, the business model is that it will help us expand in the new market while maintaining control over the brand and operations. We have the brand and operations under our control, but everything else will be handled by the local franchisee. Direct investment. Here we have to establish a local subsidiary or a branch, or we have to acquire a local company which will provide greater control over the operations. When you acquire a local company, they will already have a historical knowledge about the local norms, and we need to only get the control of the operation so that our product or process is sold. When we try to establish a local subsidiary, we may have to learn from the beginning, even if we try to hire experienced persons. So the marketing and sales strategy both has its own plus and minus, but it will be totally under our control, which means the risk will be ours as a seller or an exporter. Then comes the e-commerce part. E-commerce is utilizing platforms to help you reach the customer without any need for physical presence. Only thing is delivery of goods has to be taken care by way of logistics tie-ups. Then comes partnerships. Partnerships or collaborations is just like a JV, where the local organization, local businesses, local entities, local agencies can help to step in to boost our business into their regions. They help us to navigate and gain access to the local expertise or local resources or local requirements. The pre-market entry conditions. Before you enter into a market, before you plan to start your product or sale being sold into another market, what are the considerations that you might have to keep in mind? One is, again, as we discussed earlier, it is a feasibility study, a market feasibility study to assess the validity of our proposition that our goods or service would sell well in that market. Second is competitor analysis, that is, analyze our competitors, their strength, weakness, and the market share. Third is customer analysis, understand the target customers, what their needs are, what their preferences are, what their buying behaviors are, and what we could offer different. Then comes the regulatory compliance. Is there any local regulation or guidance that we need to comply with with respect to the particular product registration or the labeling or the packaging or the way in which the service is being rendered? Then comes the logistics and supply chain management, because we need to find a way which is effective and efficient, timely and cost effective to deliver our goods and services. Then comes the post-market. On the post-market side, market monitoring is very important, because we need to see whether the customer feedback and the competitor activity and the regulatory changes are having a positive or a negative impact on our market share. We also look at our wallet share, whether the profit margins are increasing or only the sales volumes are increasing. We need to have the performance evaluation. That's what we said, the sales and revenue, both aspects we should see. Then comes, what we will do is the adjustment of the strategy. That is, we change our compass based on the feedback that we get from the customer. We may have to respond to the changes, and it is not a reaction, but it should be proactive. We should be able to foresee and make adjustments well in advance. We should also plan for expansion and growth on certain segments or sectors where we see more potential to expand our target market through increased efforts or new product launches or strategic partnership, instead of limiting ourselves to the product or the segment or the region that we first entered into. Then comes the risk management. Identify and manage the risks associated with cross-border trade, which could be currency fluctuation, which could be a national level trade dispute at the GATT or WTO, or it could even be regulatory changes. So these are the aspects, the post-entry aspects that we will see, because successful cross-border trade hinges on market selection and adaptation. First, you need a rigorous research on what you need to comply with or how you can manage the cultural nuances. Then you need strategic partners who can help you penetrate the local market. After that, we have to prioritize and pinpoint the viable opportunity and not take everything in one go. Post-entry, we have to continuously monitor and adapt our strategy. By these, it could be possible for an entity to enter into a cross-border trade with another nation and expand their sales. Thanks for watching this video. We will meet again on another international trade finance transaction based video.